All right, welcome everybody. This evening we're going to be covering some of the new updates to the 3minutepeek.com platform. Some very exciting stuff. This is a minor system updates. We are getting ready for a big revision update, basically 3minutepeek.com version 2.0 that we're working on in time, hopefully for the convention. But I'm going to pass the call over here to Bronze Executive Tylor Brenchley to kind of cover these updates with us. So go ahead, Tylor. Call's all yours.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Can you hear me all right?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Okay. Perfect. All right, guys. I'm going to try to walk you through this not only with the stream, but if you're just listening on the phone so that you guys can get a good idea of how this is going to work. But we're really excited about some of the new upgrades that we're doing. It's really just going to help you manage your business a little bit better through the 3minutepeek system. So let's just jump right into the Recruit tab. And I've already got it here, but there's one thing that you're going to notice that's new. On the Recruit tab, and before we go into this too in-depth, I just want to announce all of these changes will be live tomorrow morning, probably right around 9 o'clock Mountain Time. And this webinar will be posted in the news feed at the bottom for anybody to send out. It will also be in the library to send out to let all your people know. So these changes you won't see until tomorrow, but we didn't want to launch them until we had our full IT department that's working on the back end of this available for any glitches. We've beta tested this pretty thoroughly through most of the browsers and different computer settings. So we're gonna launch it tomorrow at 9 o'clock Mountain Time. So if you can see, I'm just going to scroll down. There are some icons here that are listed. Now, one of the things that we've noticed is there are people putting in lists of names and contacts and exporting and uploading all their contacts into here. And when we do that, it puts them all on step 2. One of the things that we needed to try to make sure that was very accessible quickly was the information of have they been peaked and have they watched a peak presentation. That way we can sit and look and quickly evaluate at what point in the system are they so that we can follow up correctly. So if you can see here, these icons, the same icon is there for if they are new in the last 7 days. Now we've added one where a peak or a presentation email has been sent, which is step 2 and step 3, and if the video has been watched. No longer do you have to actually click onto the name and go into the notes and find out if they've watched it or look in the notifications above, because that only shows it the very first time they watch it. But now you can look in here and quickly see who's watched it, who's been sent a peek, who you need to follow up with, and be able to quickly ascertain where everybody is. You can also come up here and just click on the icon button, which will then filter it based on where they're at. So you can easily go through and take a look and see where people are. So that's the first one, the first upgrade that is part of this. But let's go in a little further. I'm just going to use my test driver. It's on step 2. And I just want to show you one other quick update that we've done to the recruiting tab. Now, if we go in here and send a peak video, you can see down here in some of the testing that we've been doing that if I go down to the bottom or anywhere along here, it's going to say peak video sent on information, and then it's going to give us information. Well, let's go in and walk you through how we send a peak video currently. We go in, we select, when we put in the information of contact, we select what type of peak person they are, opportunity, product, medical professional, athlete. And then that peak video is set. And most people have no idea what they're sending unless they go through the training and actually send themselves individual peak videos. That takes a lot of time. So we wanted to try to minimize that. Now when you go in to send a peak video, you're going to see this. And a few things will change. It is pulling from a test database until it goes live. So there's a couple of names and numbers on here that will be gone. But when you see this at 9 o'clock, you can select which URL it comes from as normal. But you get to pick from a number of different peak videos now. No longer do you have to determine at the time that they're in what they are and have to change it. you can just come in here and say, you know what, that person is an opportunity person. It's 3 minutes. I want to send them a 3-minute and 47-second peek video. Now that's what's first going to get sent to them on their link. Now, once they watch that, the More button is now going to send them a presentation. Now, which presentation do I want them to see? Well, I could send them the opportunity presentation, or I could send them the Genesis, or I could send them the Quick Draw. Now I have options of a number of different presentations that I think would work best for them. And maybe I think that it's the breakthrough. But once that's done, it's going to open up. Here's the information I promised to send. Now, if you're looking at your screen, it says this is a test body until we take the list out of body. That just is, it's pulling from a database that is a test database. The other one's already written, so when it goes live, it's going to have written emails. So you can rest assured that this, you're not going to have to worry about this. You can come in here and adjust them just like you could before. It has all the information and availability that we had before, and you could format it however you want. You could copy and paste. Now, here's the other thing we added. Now there's a button up here at the very top, a little click box, a checkbox that you can check that will copy you on this email. That means that it will send you a copy of the email that you sent to your prospect. If you go and personalize this in a specific way or mention things, and you're going to need to know that for a follow-up, go ahead and click that. But it's not totally necessary. It's just something you can do, because I'm going to show you why it's not completely necessary, because we created this before we created this next spot, but it just happened to fall together at the same time. So you can carbon copy yourself, or when you hit send, you'll be able to see what happens here, that it creates a hyperlink. I just sent the opportunity peek video, 3 minutes and 47 seconds, at 7:13 p.m. on the 22nd. Well, it's a hyperlink now, so when I click on it, it's going to open up exactly what I just sent, from which URL, who the recipient's name, email, what I sent them, what the follow-up video was, and any information that was put into that body. So if you have a follow-up, you can easily come in here and follow up on exactly what you sent them, the same questions or whatever you put into that email. That way you're going to have the ability to just grab it really quickly and know exactly what you sent and how you sent it. So that's really the upgrades that we've made to the Peek. And I want to jump over to one other thing that has been kind of confusing for a lot of people, how to make it work, how to really just adjust it. But when we look over here and we go into the URLs and display information, this is a powerful tool that we can use to be able to market ourselves a number of different avenues. But when you go and look at this, it's going to look a little bit confusing as to, well, choosing landing pages, editing, adding analytics, what do I do, delete, how do I add? So we've tried to make it a little bit more user-friendly. So this is the new page that you're going to see. When you look at this, it's going to have your 5 URLs across the top. If you only have 1 or 2 or 3, you're going to have a small little addition button here where you can add another one up to 5. Now, here's all of the current information for this website. So this would be tylor.3minutepeek.com. Display information is posted there, landing page that I've selected, the video that I've selected, and the language. But I can come down here and change it to anything I want. I can adjust the URL. I can change the display name so that it only says maybe my first name instead of both. I can change my email. I can change anything on here. Now, here's the other part. If I want to adjust the landing page, well, I can go into this list, but maybe this is my first time and I have no idea what those mean. Well, let's look at the previews. Well, I'm on hybrid, so that's what it's going to be. Maybe I want this. I don't know. Maybe I want the time freedom focus. So I'm going to be able to look and see exactly what's going up on my web page before I ever set it up. Now I want to choose my video. Well, what videos are there? What's this one? Well, I can actually preview it right here. So I can come over here and say, well, what exactly is this video, and watch it. That's not what I want. Oh, I want this one. Okay. So I go down and I select that. I know exactly what I want. I can change the language. And here's analytics. Now, analytics, this is, we keep a lot of the analytics for the entire group of 3-Minute Peak so that we can tell how things are working, what videos are doing well. But now you're going to be able to create analytics on your own. You'll just click on this basic tutorial, follow the simple steps, and go through Google Setup. And all you have to do is paste the Google Analytic code right here, and it will do it all for you. So that way you can go in and look and see how many people have visited your site. If you've created a landing page and you're marketing it, obviously I would recommend that you use a capture page if you're marketing it to just a cold market. But that way you could start monitoring those capture pages to see how many people are actually going, how long they're on the page, and if they never put in their information to get to the next step, you'll be able to tell, and we'll be able to tell how effective those videos are that we're putting up and which ones are the most effective. So those are the main changes that we've made. One for making this a little bit easier to maneuver around, to know exactly what you're putting up so you don't have to continuously go back and forth and check it. And really the main one was the recruiting tool to be able to come in and identify very quickly who you need to follow up with and what steps they're on, where they're at in the process, and how you can help them. So I don't know if there are any questions or anything, Paul.
If anyone does, if anyone does have a question, if you click on the little hand button on the software, we'll see your hand raised. And while we're fielding any questions here, looks like we already got one from a Robert Bartosh. Let me go ahead and unmute your line, Robert. Robert, are you out there?
Yeah, how you doing?
Fantastic.
You hear me?
Yep, go ahead with your question.
Just a quick, and I'm sorry if I may have missed it, but is there any way to track the email that you send to the prospect? Because sometimes I forget exactly how I worded things, and then if they don't respond by looking at the video, I'd like to try to follow up. And
yeah, actually, that was one of the things that Tyler showed. Why don't you go ahead and, Tyler, because it might not have been clear, but that why don't you close out of that real quick, Tyler? Okay, so if you see on screen where that's in blue, it says Sent Opportunity-Peak. What that blue means is that's a hyperlink. So if you click on that, it will open up a new window that will actually show you the text of the message.
Ah, okay, got it.
Okay, that's a brand new feature, so that's part of the upgrades here. Before, and this was based on feedback, yeah, a lot of people didn't realize that, and it's also, the option has been added, as Tyler's showing you there, is to actually copy yourself with the email that you send as well. So if you want a copy of that to show up in your email inbox, you just put a check mark in that when before you send it, and you'll get a copy in your inbox as well.
Perfect, looks good, thanks.
Absolutely. Looks like Brent Brooks got a question. Now let me unmute you there, Brent. Fire away.
Hey, Paul.
How's it going?
The thumbnails in the URL landing pages info section, is there a way to perhaps use those thumbnails in the Peak email creation page so that people can visually see what video they're choosing for the initial and the follow-up?
I'm going to turn that one to Tyler because there is a preview thing, I think. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, and I'm going to click on it right here. You can see this preview right here. When you select it, it actually brings it up at the top where you get to preview exactly what you're sending. And that's a good point I did not make. But all of these are previewable. So you can go and click the preview on any one of them if you're questioning which one you want to send, or maybe you're not familiar with all of them. You can go in and preview those videos very quickly.
Would it be possible to use the thumbnails and the preview button so people could just visually quickly see?
I think yes, there is the ability to do that, and once we move to make it just a little bit cleaner of a system, but when they put this up originally, this was step 1, step 2, step 3, all on the same page. I think that there is a way to make it a little bit cleaner, but for right now, this is how we have it.
All right.
I think a couple things here. That first off, these videos, the options that you're seeing are kind of the ones that have been requested by certain individuals. We'll be monitoring them with analytics to see exactly how many I mean, if we've got some that no one's sending out, again, we don't want to make this too cluttery, too busy looking. So we may end up narrowing down the options here. Again, not to confuse someone who's just getting started, or rather to overwhelm someone who's just getting started. But yeah, I think the thumbnails, that would be pretty cool, because that might be able to visually, people may be able to remember them a little easier, which one they are.
Right.
Also, another thing you're seeing there in parentheses is the actual runtime of the video clips. So that way you've got a good heads up. Obviously, look down there. We got a lot of requests for that new 5 facts video presentation, and notice it's 10 minutes. So some people don't realize. I mean, it goes pretty quickly, but that still is a 10-minute video clip. So unless you really talk to someone ahead of time and kind of tee them up for it, you want to be aware of that. It's not going to be a 3-minute or less type of peak. So, but again, so keep an eye on the little run times underneath each, and again, we're looking forward to all the activity on here, so we can do a little further analysis and see what's working and what's not to tighten it up a little.
And just to make one more announcement that I had forgotten, I just talked to Rustin this evening, and he just wanted to make sure that I announced that we have just launched a new email system. We have a new email provider that does some of the biggest accounts, Pandora, a lot of these different huge accounts, to try to make it so that our spamming is much lower. The deliverability of the email has gone up a great deal, and this was just launched today, so you should be seeing some slight differences. I don't know if it's going to be as noticeable right off the bat, but just the simple fact of making sure that some of these aren't going to spam. They're going to be monitoring and making sure that our email reputation is solid, so that those spam filters aren't throwing these peak videos into a spam folder and just making one more step for the end user to have to get to it. So he wanted me to make sure I mentioned that tonight.
Super. All right. If anyone else out there has a final question here, again, the little hand raise icon button, if you click on that in your software, there's a little picture of a hand in the GoToWebinar software. We'll be able to see your hand raised. And if not, then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Again, I'm going to make this available very quickly here as soon as it finishes encoding. I'll go ahead and post it to Team Reactive in the training business videos section. And we'll be sure to send out links as well, so people can just click directly on the link and watch the recap of these upgrades, or these updates, rather. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Thank you, Tyler, for the great overview here. And we'll look forward to talking to you on the next call. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.